house was filled with mannequins, and it was like a brothel because he dressed them up in lingerie. It was so much fun. I mean, just hanging out with like 100 mannequins in a house with music and partying 24/7.
Wow.
His wife was a belly dancer, so they were all in belly dance costumes, blood brides. I mean, anything you could think of. So he gave me some mannequins to start out with, and I put them on stage with long hair and a fan and a strobe light, and I did what rappers did, and I put my music on a CD and plugged it into the PA, and I played my instrument over the piped-in music.
The backing track.
Backing track.
Mannequin Planet uses the backing tracks live too. We played that.
Of music only, but I did live vocals and live either guitar or bass, depending on what song.
Cool.
And it was fun for a while. It was hard to improv. There was no improv because it was just music from the record, you know.
Have you heard of the artist Captured by Robots?
Oh, of course.
I mean,
I
he's
did a show with him.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it just, if you haven't seen it, I mean, he used to have like a 8-piece band of robots. He was the only human member.
Yeah.
Then he scaled it down to about him and 2 other guitar player and drummer, but
we were
amazing stuff.
To see them
Yeah.
all 8 at one point.
If there was any integrity or anything good about the rock and rap hole of shit, or shame, I call it, you know, he'd be in there for the most original fucking artists for sure.
Absolutely.
And then they'd also have bands like Styx in there who aren't on there, and you know, to give me your love for Van Halen, we see the old school.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, really next to Styx, Van Halen's my number one. David Lee Roth era for
I got
sure.
a good Styx story.
Oh, give it to me.
My mom knew that I was a Kiss fan growing up, right?
Yeah.
I really wasn't a Styx fan growing up. I didn't own them. I didn't really like them because I was more into the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And later on, I think 2006, my mom went up to Lake County, and Styx was playing a casino, and people were talking about it. She's like, "Oh my God, Kiss," because she had a bad ear.
Yeah.
Kiss is playing. I better get Lance some tickets. So she bought these Kiss tickets that turned out to be Styx tickets, and she gave them to me. She goes, "Good, I got you and your woman can go and see Kiss." And I'm looking at these. Mom, these are Styx, not Kiss. And she's all, "What's the difference?" And I'm like, "God damn, Mom." And that was so much fun. You know what? I went to the Styx concert and I became a fan. They were so good.
Right on. I mean, vocalists like that just don't come around anymore. And really songwriting like that, just the most killer songs, I think. And
I remember they started these songs. I'm all, holy shit, I remember that one. I remember that one. You know, they're really good.
Definitely more of a Van Halen fan. I could probably guess Van Halen 1 and 2. You know, that you just... It hit all of us like a freight train, man. Eddie and Alex and the boys.
I know.
So, well, give us some highlights. We should get into one of your things in your career was going on the Jerry Springer show. You know, we can't do this interview without bringing it up. He's talked about it a million times. Also, the other show.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
And a Howard Stern episode and Ripley's.
Yeah, that's the one that was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just give us some highlights. I mean, you actually got to go on the Howard Stern show? Was this before the whole Cyrus thing?
This is way before, in the 90s. It was on
Remember when his pay-per-view shows were really cutting edge? And
yeah, that's what
you know, when he played Johnny Carson and had Zsa Zsa Gabor on the show. I mean, he's not the guy that was ever. I mean, so he had you on there and all these other shows, man. I mean, how was that experience?
It was great. And what do you call it? The NBC had a show called Strange Universe, and I was the third strange person in the universe. Neil Diamond in Las Vegas. He had a church, but it wasn't the Neil Diamond. It was like a tribute to him, and he had a church. And then another one had, I think, another Strange Universe person was either highly schizophrenic or Tourette's syndrome, and then me with the puking thing, number 3.
And on Ripley's Believe It or Not, I mean, that was
oh yeah, the puke paintings.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I collect the books, you know, and it's just fascinating stuff. And then Jerry Springer, I mean, you know, rest in peace, man. I mean, went out to Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you go out there?
Yes,
and
I did.
who else was on the
Many
show
times.
and what was going on there? I remember the Mentors being on there and
Peter
Guar.
Steele?
Peter Steele was okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're bringing it
Guar.
back for me.
Yeah.
What was Peter on there for? Wow, that's a
Rock and roll
trip.
Groupies.
Right on.
Vicious Rumors went out there once. I don't know if you knew that. That was.
I
pretty
didn't.
wild.
That's another Bay Area great.
Yeah.
I filmed them recently with Raven, and they're just as killer as ever.
Oh, yeah.
Always have a vocalist that can hit the notes.
Yeah.
My kind of guy, like Jeff Tate of Queensryche, and that kind of singer. It's a dying breed, you know.
I know.
Whoa,
It's
right?
hard.
That whole thing.
It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we
like
don't hear singers like that anymore,
Like
unfortunately.
Steelheart. Holy
Exactly.
shit.
That guy, you
That
know what I
guy
mean?
is-
Crimson Glory from Florida.
Crimson Glory.
Midnight, you know, with the fucking stratosphere screams.
Yes.
So, what other highlights in, I mean, you know, any other new music you're working on? Tonight we're here because Lance and his band Electric Funeral. This is a tribute to Ozzy and Black Sabbath.
Right.
Rest in peace, Ozzy. Recently, you know, passed, and you also do Sweetleaf. Is that another?
Sweetleaf was my last show in December last year,
Okay.
and I put that together in '89.
And put it to rest last year.
I
It
did,
seems like,
because
yeah.
a couple of my
Steve Smythe is
Oh,
a notable
yes, he
in the
is.
band. He was doing the Iommi, Randy Rhoads, Jakey
Yes.
Lee parts.
phenomenal.
Phenomenal player. You know, Forbidden
And now
Testament,
he's got
Nevermore.
his own group again called One Machine.
Yeah,
He's going back and forth to Europe and here and there.
for sure. So, what timing? You know, what is it? What does Ozzy mean to you, man? I'm more of a Dio guy. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
For everything Sabbath and Dio in his own career and Rainbow. But
Yeah.
what did Ozzy mean to you, man? You
Well-
know, just bringing the past to the present.
My uncle introduced me to him when I was like 10, not personally, but his music, and it kind of scared me. I did like Iron Man, and I thought that was really odd to hear, and I really adapted to the early Sabbath. And then when he did Crazy Train and solo stuff, I wasn't really much into the solo stuff. Very mellow, you know.
I feel like it was
Goodbye to
Blizzard,
Romance,
Diary, and Bark at the Moon, and then he just bit the bullet on Ultimate Sin. You know, too
Yeah.
much glam, too much soft
At
radio
that
crap.
time,
Yeah.
Yes, but I love Ultimate Sin today. I love all that. I love.
But
all
you're
the
definitely
Ozzy
an Ozzy Sabbath guy from like the first few records. Yeah.
stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
And Dio, I love. I even love the Ray Gillian, Tony Martin. I love all this.
Yeah. The Purple's my favorite English band ever, even over Sabbath and Zeppelin.
Yeah,
And I
they're
loved
great.
when Gillan joined Sabbath, and
I
I call
love
it
it.
Purple Sabbath.
Sabbath.
Yeah,
me
yeah.
too.
So, well, what are you working on? New music? You got? What are your shows coming up in the next year? Let's get current here. Give everybody the Facebook and all the YouTube stuff for
Sure.
Lanso and Skitzo.
Yeah, Lanso Skitzo on Facebook and Lanso Zan Skitzo Thrash 1 and 2, and then on that X Skitzo Thrash, and I think on Instagram is also Skitzo Thrash something.
You guys play, you know, they're a freaking touring machine. We didn't talk about, you know, how many times you left the state or even the country, you know, because I would love to play overseas or even in other states. Any memories there?
I can hook you up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And we just got back from playing with down at the Whiskey A Go Go with the Megadeth guys, Dave Elfson, Dave.
Oh, the
Young.
Kings of Thrash thing. Yeah, yeah.
That was really a
Right
fun,
on. Yeah,
fun trip.
if I could play, look, I would play, you know, L.A., preferably the Whiskey, but you know, the
I'll give you the
Troubadour.
booking guy.
The Troubadour would be good too. That's still around.
Still around?
Yeah, and I would play Vegas second if I could ever get out of the state, you know.
No,
so
don't do Vegas.
Unfortunately, haven't found the right people to do even the West Coast tour with Mannequin Planet.
I've done Vegas, and you can't compete with the naked ladies and the free drinks.
Oh,
and
there
the
you go.
gambling.
Truth is there, folks.
The place was empty. I'm all, where the hell is everybody? And the sound guy goes, you can't compete with naked ladies, free drinks, and gambling. I'm all, why don't you even come here then?
Well, you know what's more entertaining than that? I remember picking up from you the documentary about Skitzo, and it had, you know, of course, some puke on the cover to draw the fans in and people who don't know about you. But it was one hell of a documentary, man. I mean, I love your, like I said, your
Vomitorium?
Exactly, Vomitorium.
Okay,
Yeah, good stuff. So check for that. You know, buy some merch from this guy. Come to a show. You know, if you haven't seen him, you can see clips on this show, Entertainment Getaway TV. And I just want to say,
thank you.
You know, for the record, you know, I got a lot of love for this guy. He influences Mannequin Planet. We do a theatrical show. Just love somebody that's like driven and you know, really, you know, passionate about their art, man. And I can relate to that, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
Let's do some shows in 2026.
Yeah, Skitzo, Mannequin Planet 2026. And thank you, Lance. We'll catch a couple clips with Electric Funeral. Put those with this interview, and we'll see you on a venue near stage near you soon.